Hello friends, Dhananjay Rao Gadge College of Commerce Satara, Department of Statistics, BCom second semester 3. Here today we see the unit 3 measures of dispersion. Before this we already studied the in second unit measures of central tendency. We know that there are various measures of central tendency, mainly arithmetic mean, median and mode. So average or the central tendency value means it is a representative value of a data and it gives whole idea about the data, but this central value or the average is not sufficient to describe the distribution completely. Why? Because if there are two or more distributions with the same means, but distribution may not be identical, and we see that the average are used to comparison the data of two or more data. So if the averages are the same, then how we compare this data? So that's why average only is not sufficient to describe the data completely. So that's why we studied the next characteristics of the data called as a variation or the dispersion. So now see here, this is an example. Consider the example as 3 students, marks of the 3 students in 5 subjects. Student A got the marks 51, 52, 50, 48 and 49. Student B got the mark 30, 35, 50, 65, 70, and student C also got these marks. Now if we compare this data by using the average, we see that the average of all these 3 students are the same. Then problem is, then which student is a consistent or reliable students? So after comparison with the average value, it is impossible to say that which student is a consistent student. So that's why if we studied the variation of the data, that is there is a variation in the data of the distribution, then we can compare easily. So from the above distribution, it is clear that student A is more consistent than student B, and student B is more consistent than student C. It means that only mean is not sufficient to describe any distribution. It is essential to measure the extent of variation. This variation is called as a dispersion. That means here we want to study the measures of dispersion or the measures of variation. So the average, which average is good? If the dispersion is less, that means variation is less, variation is minimum, then average is a good representative. Thus reliability decide the reliability of average. So what are the different types of the measures of dispersion? So following are the 4 measures of dispersion: range, quartile deviation, mean deviation and standard deviation. Also we compute their coefficients: coefficient of range, coefficient of quartile deviation, coefficient of mean deviation and coefficient of standard deviation. So this range or the coefficient of range, that means there are 2 types of the measures of dispersion. That means these are divided into 2 parts: absolute measure and relative measures. Absolute measure means the absolute measures are with units, but relative measures are free from units. Absolute measures, the distinguish between the absolute measure and relative measures are: first point is absolute measures are with unit and relative measures are free from units. Absolute measures are not used for comparison. They give only the variation, how much variation is there in the data, it describes this value. But relative measures are used for comparison because it is a free from value, free from unit value. In absolute measure, the measures are range, quartile deviation, mean deviation and standard deviation. And in coefficient in the relative measures, there are coefficient of range, coefficient of quartile deviation, coefficient of mean deviation and coefficient of standard deviation. So mainly we are going to study four types of the measures of dispersion: range, quartile deviation, mean deviation and standard deviation. And also we compute their corresponding relative measures. So one by one we see here these measures of dispersion. First one is range. Range is the difference between, it is very simple measures of dispersion. It is the difference between largest value and smallest value from the data, and it is denoted by R and defined as R is equal to L minus S. L means largest observation and S means smallest observation. So computation of range is very simple, and we know that this is the absolute measures of dispersion, and its corresponding relative measure means coefficient of range is equal to L minus S divided by L plus S. Consider this is an example. Number of books 27, 85, so on 80, 18, and we will compute here the range. So from the data we have L is equal to, that is the largest observation is 108, S is equal to smallest observation from the data is 18, and take the subtraction we get 90. So 90 is a variation of the data. And its coefficient of range also we compute L minus S divided by L plus S, and we get here the value 0.71. Next one is, what are the uses of the range? So the range is rarely used in scientific work as it is a fairly insensitive. It depends on only two scores in the set of data L and S. That means entire data we cannot give the importance for the entire data, but we only take the two values from the data, which is the largest observation and smallest observation. But sometimes there is a confusion because the look this example, two very different sets of data can have the same range. First data is 11119 and another data is 13579, but the range is the same. Range is 9 minus 1 is equal to 8 of the both the data. But if data are the similar, no. So range is confused measures of dispersion. And the computation of the range for the frequency distribution is also very simple one. In a discrete frequency distribution, we take the largest observation of the x variable and smallest observation of the x variable, and take the difference between them, we get the range. And in case of the continuous frequency distribution or grouped frequency distribution, here L means largest midpoint of the largest class. Here L means midpoint of the largest class, and S is equal to midpoint of the smallest class. So in class interval or grouped frequency distribution, there are class intervals and corresponding frequencies. So we take the midpoint of the classes, and midpoint of the largest class we denote it L, and midpoint of the smallest class we denote by S, and find out a range. Okay. Now second measures of dispersion is a quartile deviation, or it is also called as a semi-interquartile range. And definition is, already we studied the quartiles. There are three quartiles. Data are divided after arranging the data in ascending or descending order. Then the observations which divide the data into four equal parts are called as a quartiles. And there are three quartiles: lower quartile Q1, Q2 and upper quartile Q3. So definition of the quartile deviation is 1/2 difference between third quartile and first quartile is called as a quartile deviation. and it is denoted by QD or semi interquartile range. Why we say that semi interquartile range? Because range of the quartile is Q3 minus Q1. Range, by using the definition of range, we know that largest observation minus smallest observation. So quartile, range of the quartile means Q3 minus Q1, and it divided by 2 we call as interquartile range. Thus quartile deviation is also called as a semi interquartile range, and defined as Q3 is equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2, and coefficient of quartile deviation is equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. So above this, quartile deviation is absolute measure and coefficient of QD is a relative measure. Okay. So these are the some examples. Already we evaluate the examples in measures of central tendency to calculate or compute the quartiles for individual data, discrete frequency distribution and continuous frequency distribution. So only here we require the quartiles and take the 1/2 difference between third quartile and first quartile, we get the quartile deviation. So these are the examples of the individual data, discrete frequency distribution and continuous frequency distribution. Okay, so we evaluate some examples, and then we go to the next measures of dispersion called as a mean deviation. So before this, evaluate some examples yourself, because there is no need to explain how to evaluate the example, because the quartiles already we studied in the previous unit. So by yourself evaluate some examples based on the individual data, discrete frequency distribution and continuous frequency distribution also, and then we go to the next measures of dispersion called as a mean deviation. Okay, good luck. We stop here, and we again meet to the next lecture for the third measures of dispersion. Okay, thank you.